Hello people, this is Vic Gotra speaking, the real estate mania, doing business in the United States, the land of opportunity, all the way from Toronto. Now I'm gonna step inside my condo because it's getting colder and colder. I thought I would shoot my video outside, but that's probably not going to work. Here we go, a lot warmer and probably less noise for you. Now, what I want to talk about today is how easy it could be, how easy wholesaling real estate is. A lot of people start their real estate venture in the real estate industry with wholesaling, just like I did, just like many other people did. And I think it's the best way and easiest way to start, and it also shows how committed you are. Wholesaling can be very easy, but it could be very hard at the same time. It teaches you a lot of lessons risk-free along the way, and once you do your first transaction, that's when you know that you have it in you, and a little bit more work can get you a lot more money. So a lot of people ask me, what's the best way of starting? Is it to find the buyer first, or is it to find the seller first? I think personally is to find the property first. I think personally that if the deal is good enough, the money is always there. The money is always there. It's never been a time where the deal is very good for me and it was hard for me to find a buyer. You can use things like advertising like Craigslist, Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com. You can even pay for a service like self-listing on the MLS for like $200, and pay like $400 in total to list a property, and it's sold, and you make a lot of money, and you can expose it to the whole MLS market. Now, I started with wholesaling virtually. I am from Toronto. I'm from Canada. My first deal was 6 hours away. I've never seen that property. Well, I have seen it now after it closed, or the day before it closed. But before that, I hadn't seen the property, and I wouldn't suggest to anybody to do that. Anybody. If you live in the United States, you should do this in your own backyard. There's so many advantages of doing it in your own backyard versus doing it virtually. A lot of people do it virtually. I don't know how they can do it. I did 3 deals virtually, and then I would never do them again. So, first step in wholesaling, find the deal. Now, how do you find the deal? Believe it or not, there are so many deals right at your fingertips. You just have to do a little bit of work, a little bit of research, a little bit of time on the phone, and a little bit of email. This is how I found deals, or I find deals, and I still do. I've been doing it for 4 years. And most of my deals, I would say 90% of the time, I find my own deals. I don't have other wholesalers or other realtors bringing me deals, just because I'm still grinding like I was day one. You should go on to Craigslist in your city and email every single listing under homes for sale by owner, and for sale by agent. Every single one. If you do 100 or 150, it's a numbers game. The more you do, the more likely and the more faster you will get your first deal. Okay? This is how I do it. Open the email, ask a simple question. Hello, is this property still available? Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. I do it for 100 to 150 people. I wait 2 days. After the 2 days, I go back into my email and respond to all of the people that responded back to me. What do? I copy and paste a list of simple preliminary questions. How much are you asking? What's the condition of the property? Why are you selling? How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, how fast do you need to sell? And sometimes I ask, and sometimes I don't ask, what's the lowest that you'll take? Sometimes I also change the questions around. You can do it to your own liking, but those are the basic questions that I ask. When I see the second time they respond, I understand. It gives me an idea that okay, they're motivated to some point, and they're communicative, and my time is not going to be wasted chasing them. I ask for their number, I give them my number, and I get on the phone. As soon as I get on the phone, I get a better idea as to what's going on. Now, to make money in real estate wholesaling, it's not so much about finding the property, it's more about finding the situation. If you can identify a pressing or some sort of a situation where selling the property is needed sooner than later, you can make the deal. There's so many ways of closing a deal in real estate. You can do lease option, you can do wholesale, you can fix and flip, you can buy and hold, you can do all sorts of things, wraparound mortgages, subject to all of that. But I'm strictly going to talk about wholesale. Now, once you identify a deal, once you identify a motivated seller, get the property, do your property analysis, see how much the property is worth. Go visit the property. Visit the property. If you talk to the seller today, try to go visit the property tomorrow. If you put too much of a gap in there, the interest gets lost and the communication gets lost and a deal just goes. It just happens. It happens with me. If I don't follow up with my lead within 1 or 2 days, property's gone, deal's gone, usually. But the treasure is always in the follow-up. That's like my motto of life. Anyways, go see the property. The first time you go see the property, take a lot of pictures so you don't have to go back in there to take more pictures. So the first time that you're there, ask the seller permission to take pictures and take as many pictures as you can. Talk to the seller, find out what's going on. Then, when you come home, analyze the deal, analyze the property, see what it's actually worth. Once fixed up, how much would it actually be worth? Then start the negotiation. How much are they asking? You want to be, depending on your market, well, in a market like California, you could probably be at 80% or 85% of ARV, which is the after repair value, and still make a lot of money, because properties in California, they range, like even a regular medium-sized property will range from 750,000 and up or something like that, something crazy, right? So even if you can find them at 80 or 85% below market value, you could still do a deal. The market that I'm in Buffalo, New York. I need to be at least 65% below market value. So find your property, make them an offer. Don't be scared. Make them an offer of like 60% on the dollar. Don't make an exact offer of 0,000. That's not what I do. What I do is I make an offer with a bunch of different numbers and end it with a 7. I don't know why I do that, but I just do that. And it just seems like it's a calculated offer. It's a thought, the offer has been thought about, the numbers have been run, and now I've presented an offer. Present the offer, most likely it's rejected. And if it's not, I found a good deal, but it could have been better. I should have offered even lower. So your aim should be to get your offer rejected. Your first offer should be rejected, and then you work your way up slowly and see what your maximum is. Always offer below your maximum so that you can work your way up and you stop at your maximum, hopefully before that. Once your deal is accepted, the offer is accepted, put it under contract right away. If you wait too long, a lot of the times sellers, right before, what I've noticed is right before signing the contract, they start doing a little bit more research and start making a little bit more phone calls just to see if they can get anything else better than yours last minute. So getting your property under contract ASAP is crucial to wholesaling, okay? So now, send the offer in, get the contract signed, you sign yourself so you're under contract. Now, there's a few things that you should know about wholesaling, okay? Sometimes you should tell the seller what you're doing. Sometimes people don't tell the seller what they're doing. You present yourself as the buyer and put an assignable clause in the paperwork, and then you find a real buyer that you show the property to and assign the contract to them. Now it depends on you, how you presented yourself and how you did the deal, right? What I used to do is I used to kind of lie, not really lie, but you know what I'm saying. I never used to tell them that I'm not gonna really buy. I always presented myself as the buyer and then made the contract assignable, and I ended up assigning my deals at the end of the before the transaction or at the closing table. It's a little bit fishy doing it that way, just because it's hard to explain to the seller what's really going on. Why are other people walking through the property? Why is it taking so long? Why are so many different people walking through the property and all of that, right? So what I do now is I just tell the buyer straight up about what's going on, the benefits of working with me. The benefits of working with me is that I could find you a cash buyer. You don't have to pay any commissions, and I can guarantee you that we can get this done in less than 45 days. I never say 30 because 30 never happens. I say about 45 days. Once I say that, I have a little bit of time to play. But the thing is, if it's a good deal, it shouldn't take you longer than that to close. It just should not take you, unless there's big title problems, it shouldn't take you that long to close. So it's a pretty simple step-by-step process if you actually do it. Find the deal, put it under contract, advertise it. So maybe I didn't tell you, well, I did tell you in the beginning, you should advertise it on Zillow, you should advertise it on Craigslist, you should advertise it on Trulia, you should advertise it on Google if you can. It's not that expensive. You can do word of mouth and message all the realtors in the area. That's what I used to do because I was cheap, and I'm still cheap. But it's a very effective way of putting the word out there. I used to go on Zillow and write down the phone numbers of every single realtor in the area and just send a mass text message to everybody, and then you start building relationships that way as well. They start knowing your number, knowing who you are, your name, and then they eventually meet you, and it helps in the long run. Advertise, find the buyer, get the buyer to walk through. Whoever your buyer is that ends up liking the property and puts the highest offer, you assign the contract to them. Now, there's two things. You can either assign it or you can double close it. If you assign it, everybody knows how much you made. If you double close it, nobody knows how much you made. Okay? I've done both. I think double closing is a better way of doing it because assignments spooks the buyer and spooks the seller, especially if you're making a big chunk. I've had it before where I've had to cut my commission because the buyer didn't think I deserved that much, and I just was motivated to close, so I cut my commission in half. If I had done a double close, I would have given whatever I promised to the buyer, and then I would have given the property to the seller for whatever we had promised, and they would have never known what happened in between. Let's say I put it under contract for 80. I told the buyers I'm selling it for 100. I would have bought it from him and sold it to the seller on the same table without anybody knowing, and it would have been clean. So that's what I do now, and that's what I do now. Well, now I don't really wholesale anymore much. If I find a property with equity, I buy it and keep it myself. Anyways, I can't really break it down too much about wholesaling than this. It's you have to do it. You have to go out there and do it yourself. I can put it on paper and I can break down even step 1 to step 1, A, B, C, D, E, but there's going to be F, G, H, I, and maybe even a letter that doesn't even exist in the alphabet that you're going to have to learn yourself. So the best way of doing it is, just go in and do it. You're going to make mistakes. If you're not making mistakes, that means you're not doing anything. You're not trying anything new. You have to do it. And if you're making mistakes, don't get discouraged. Just move on. If your first deal didn't go through properly, move on, because now you're more equipped than you were for the first one. That's for sure, right? Depending on how far in the deal you were. But this business is real. Real estate is real. It's been around for thousands of years. People have made the most amount of money with real estate. But I think starting with wholesaling is probably the best way of doing it. You don't need any money for it. You don't need too many resources for it. You can be, as long as you're resourceful, you're good to go. As long as you know where to find the information, all the information is at your fingertips. So if you have any questions, or if there's anything I can help you with, if there's anything that that you think that you just want to give me a quick call or a quick text and ask me a question where I can help you, just feel free to give me a call. My phone number is 716-806-8261, 716-806-8261. Please do subscribe to my channel, The Real Estate Mania. I'm going to be posting more videos, hopefully weekly, My last video I posted about 3 weeks ago or even a month ago. I said that I would post video every week, but I got so busy. I have so many renovations and so many deals closing that I'm always doing a lot of running around. So bear with me. But starting from now, I will drop a video every week, every Friday for you to watch, and hopefully deliver as much content as possible, as much value as possible for your time, and hopefully teach you what I know, and maybe learn from you as well. So don't forget to subscribe, please. Love and support is needed, and everything else God will give us. Thank you so much, and have a good one.